Shazam! Sorry, everyone. Took me some time to get my act together here. There was a lot more packages and stuff since our last episode. I'm sorry about the sound of the fans. The lighting's going to be a little off. Excuse me. Jason Kamlick should be joining us shortly. I'm literally not going to have room for this. This is 2 weeks worth of stuff for the personal collection you're seeing here. How's our audio, guys? Check it over there. How's our audio, guys? I guess it's as good as it's going to get given all the fans and machinery running. Over there. How you doing, Aaron? Let me see if I can message Mr. Kamlick. Hey, there's another package. If I would have waited another day, I could have had it. I'll give him a minute or two. So we got, let's see, probably one I should start with anyway. It's pretty much the oldest one, right? Catherine, don't have cats, people. Evil animals. Our last live stream, we helped promote Brad's summer sale. And I was really glad to go. Beautiful day. Me and my brother drove out there. He had 6 vendors on his property, which was so nice. And everyone had a good time and lots of good deals. And I bought some stuff from some of the other vendors, but some were gifts and I've handed them out, and others I actually can't find. But it was really cool. Got his new bag. And I'll show you the stuff I got here, largely from my wife. Sorry about the lighting quality. With all this here, it's just sucking up all the light. But we'll open that up now. I'll have a story for that. And that's the first one. And that was $40, so it was cheaper than retail. Glad to buy it. I already have quite the extensive collection of monofigs. Just do this without breaking anything. Woo! However, this will make a good start for another run. Get, was it 10 or 12 colors with some parts and stuff. And it is something I've been eyeing and seeing it available. That was cool. Now, for whatever reason, that's one of those gift with purchases that I missed, or maybe less about missed and didn't give a crap about, so I didn't hunt it down. But grabbed that from his sale. Oh. And let's see, what else do we have for the gift of purchases? There's another one that I was in the dark about completely. So I grabbed that. And then these I grabbed for my wife, not knowing if I had any or what, I wasn't too sure what the deal was. So got that one, and it turns out I did have that. Like, I literally just seen this 10 minutes ago. So that's actually a duplicate, and this was intended for our collection, but that's fine. One will stay sealed, and wifey can build the other one. Because these year ofs are largely for her. I have just about zero interest. I'm just taking out the little stickies that he had that said 15 each. So that's all I'm going to show you from his, by the way, BTLGbricks.ca for all your Lego needs. What you're gonna? Oh, that's actually. Jeez, I didn't realize it was ripped. But yeah, and this is probably the oldest of the stuff I want to show off tonight. But pretty sure that's going to be one I build there. And then the gift with purchases. Not too sure what my plans are with those, but in no terrible rush to do anything with them. They can literally sit and hibernate. I mean, the backlog behind me is still more or less 300 plus sets, and actually, if I actually sit down and count, I bet you it's closer to 400. Because I've been saying 300 plus for a year and a half to 2 years, and at the rate I build and the rate I accumulate, I'm clearly 2, 3, 4 to 1 on my builds, or on the collecting side. So got that right now. I know this isn't going to work terribly well, so I'm just going to continue to move stuff over and do the shuffle. I got something here. It's not open. Yeah, we can get this now. So, China. So, children Lego LEGOE toy. That's just what they put on the customs documents. So I bought this. If you guys were around on either the last stream or the stream before, one of the Chinese sets I imported that I still haven't built, by the way, is a mock of a bantha. Ooh. Okay, so Jason is coming. He's just working on his mic. So he's just working on his technical stuff, and that's okay. So I ordered, because I didn't want to mix Lego figures in with it. So I ordered some Chinese sand people, Tuscan Raiders. That's it. I'm trying to remember. I'm a big Star Wars fan. So I got at least 2 of them. Like I said, I didn't really want to mix Lego with the Chinese stuff. They'll be good enough for the display, and it is what it is. Do they look complete? Looks like hands. Do I see the 2 arms? Because, like, you just never know, right? I see a couple arms, so they look pretty complete. Actually, I don't really have to wait. Now, for those not familiar with the Chinese stuff, you usually have to completely assemble your figures, unlike real Lego. And I don't know if this is like a 1-to-1 clone or copy of a Lego figure. I can tell you it's got a slightly misaligned print, so it's not going to impress anyone thinking it's a Lego figure. Ow. Jason's still playing with his mic. click, click. Pretty good clutch there. Here's the problem. I don't think I know exactly how the weapon is built. Yeah, I'm kind of in the dark here. So these both cannot go, I don't know. I'll have to take a picture of how Lego does it. Something doesn't look quite right there. Maybe like that. That looks to be a little more reasonable. And a 2x3 plate. Like I said, it's ever so slightly misaligned. Good enough for the Chinese thing it's going to be attached to, so I'm not going to cry over that. Might as well build them both. They're not worth anything. So we're live streaming to my personal page on YouTube, my personal page, my Bricks Count page, I should say, on YouTube and on Facebook. And I think we're also streaming live to Twitch. So we're triple streaming tonight, as usual. Hey, Cliff. Mr. KC in the house. Actually, you can see what you've missed. It's all actually still on screen, pretty much. The sets you can see are from Brad's sale 2 weeks ago. They've been sitting on the floor, literally in the bag. I brought them home in. Just because, I'm not doing these as frequently as I used to. And then I just opened up these Chinese Sand People Tusken Raider minifigs, which are going to be used for the, if you watched the last stream or the stream before, the mock, I got the Chinese mock for the big Bantha, Mr. Snuffleupagus. That's what he looked like anyway. So I figured, you know what, since I was going to be building that mock at some point, I might as well have 2 Chinese figures to go with it. Oh, only 1 extra hand with this one. So there we go. We got 2 fake figures to go with the fake Bantha that I will build whenever I get around to it. I've got whatever the recent sets were from Star Wars. I have the newest Tusken Raiders from Lego, but didn't want to mix them. The only time I ever want to mix Lego with the Chinese stuff is when I'm building the Chinese stuff. I'm using Lego to fix the Chinese stuff. I never want to add value Lego to low value, non-value Chinese stuff. I love building the import stuff. And this is one of the few times you'll see me intentionally buy a copy. So I'm pretty sure it's probably a 1-to-1 copy of a Lego thing. Now, this was interesting. I actually put in an extra shift today at work, came home, and this was at my door. No idea. And I still have so much stuff. This is some sort of import. Oh, okay. I do have an idea what this is. So it's from Mexico. Actually, this was not the one that was at the door today. I lied. Okay. Sitting around a couple weeks, but it's kind of a small white whale in the sense that I missed the original opportunity to get this set. And when I saw another opportunity come up, I jumped on it. I think I paid an extra $12 this time around compared to the original retail. So it's like I was very pleased. And shipping from Mexico, it was sketchy, right? Because the first thing the seller does is warn me, please don't report if it's late, whatever. shipping post from Mexico to Canada is 8 weeks or whatever. It's like it sounded like they were trying to get past whatever the protection time was, but it arrived within a fair amount of time. This guy, I'm not even sure what I can say here. This guy paid $270 something to ship it to me. And it looks like he probably even undervalued it. One building block set, blah, 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 blah. Let's hope it's what it says it is. But yeah, this has been a long time coming. So let's see where we're at on this. Remember, cut away from you folks. Don't be dumb like me and cut away every other week. And all those who are following my health journey this year, I broke through the 200-pound ceiling. I am now officially well under 200 pounds. Okay, let's not say well under. That's an exaggeration. 198. That was 4 days solid under that. Because going up and down in weight is very common. However, I never count the change in weight until it's stable day after day. Shazam!
Hey,
How you doing? You sound a little low in my ears.
can you? I might have to turn my mic up, but I don't really know. Let me see here.
Let's see. How about a little lower?
Lower?
Actually, that sounds pretty good and clean right there.
Okay. I don't know what I did.
Sounds good now.
Yeah. So what'd you get?
It's still actually all on screen, which probably won't last for long because
nice.
I got way too much crap here. Let's see. Let's take the Chinese crap out. Lego is from Brad's sale 2 weeks ago that was promoted on the last stream, or 3 weeks ago now, maybe. Year of the animal sets, largely from my wife, tiger, ox, and rat. And it turns out, and it's funny, all these purchases were made because of the tiger, and I actually already had that because I see it on the floor. That's for my wifey, but I know she likes them, so I guess I get to keep one and she'll build the rest. 2 gift with purchases that I did not actually have. One I didn't want originally, but hey, I was at his sale. It was a really good price. What can I do? $10 off that versus retail by buying it at his sale. So, that was a win. Plus, it was a nice trip out there. Beautiful day. Me and my buddy got to eat at Camp 31. World's best barbecue. Whatever meat you like that barbecue. It was amazing. Then I opened up these, which is one of the few rare times you'll see me buy intentional copycats of Lego stuff. These are fake Tusken Raiders to go with the Chinese mock set. I probably showed off in the last stream for the Bantha from Star Wars.
That's pretty cool.
And I didn't want to mix I didn't want to mix real Lego figures with the Chinese set, but that Bantha looks so cool and I can't wait to build it. And it's like, okay, I really want to have some figures with it. So
yeah,
I ordered those.
I'm mixing the off-brand with Lego for one of my projects because it saves money. So
save money, and you know what? And I know with some of the off brands or copycat brands or whatever, like you'll get, like in your case, canopies.
Yeah,
you can get some nice canopy pieces that Lego does not make at all from Mega and from some Chinese brands and maybe even Kobe. Well, actually, if you want some actually nice shape stuff, Kobe and Oxford, they're probably a good hookup. But good luck getting them as loose parts, right?
Yeah. Actually, I need to take a look at the canopies because I moved and cleared out a lot of the Lego non-naval aviation Lego, and I've got all the Kobe sitting in a tote, and I should have gone through and grabbed the canopies in case I use them for something else.
Yeah, before I started collecting the Mega, as I was getting it through bulk purchases and garage sales and stuff, and every time I found Mega blocks, back in 2012, 2013, when I kind of came back into this hobby, I was either liquidating the Mega or giving it to the daycare or whatever. every piece found a home, except I kept some stuff for my mocks, and usually it was canopies.
Yep.
And sometimes gun belts and stuff, and ribbons of ammo, and it's like, this is just stuff I'm not going to get from Lego, and for what little mock building I was doing at the time. So, yeah, this stuff's cool. I'll keep it no matter what. If I'm mocking, what do I care what people think?
Yep.
Okay, this guy was like serious about glue. I don't know if that's a Mexico thing, because he's the third guy I've ordered stuff from in Mexico. And they just glue the hell out of their boxes, because this is not the way anything gets shipped here. So that's kind of cool, I guess.
Weird.
I had huge worries, and I always do when I order from Mexico. And it's funny, I've never been burned, not from Mexico anyway. I actually consider myself very fortunate that I order from virtually everywhere around the world. I usually come out on top when it comes to not paying VATs and taxes. I know some people say, oh, you'll get dinged later. It pretty much has never happened. It's very rare.
I don't pay enough attention. I think for eBay, I just grab whatever. And for BrickLink, I only get US because it takes a shorter amount of time.
Sure. In the case of BrickLink, at time, I mean, I haven't done a lot of it in the last 2 years, but when I was going crazy on filling out my back Star Wars collection, because like I would say from 2000 to 2018, I have 90% of all the sets, all the Star Wars, because that's my love. And if that meant ordering from Australia or Poland or Germany or wherever, and I did, and at times like I made out like a bandit. Like I got the Star Wars Rebel ship, whatever that one is. I got it from Australia, new, sealed in box, cheaper than the best Canadian or North American used. And that's after imports and taxes and everything. I still come out ahead. And that's when I really realized, don't close myself off to places that might be scary. Like Australia to Canada can be very scary. Long distance, long time on planes and ships and everywhere else, depending on the method of shipping. And it can be costly, but it's like, because Australia is such a crap little market, there's not a lot of competition there. So the prices are generally low for stuff. And if I'm willing to pay the shipping to bring it over, I win. And I'm finding that a lot of the time. So this was
the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
That's weird. That's pretty cool.
Micro build, and if you like Game of Thrones, then you know what this is, the wall. And it's like, I missed this opportunity, and it was nice to finally catch it. Because I have, in Game of Thrones, I have every set. Actually, I even have the loose figures, which is rare for me. I don't normally buy loose figures from Mega. Like, I don't worry about collecting them. In Masters, I probably have half of the loose ones. But just... Mega is just really a cruddy company to collect because it's just not distributed well in North America. No, but if you go to Mexico, you'll see 3-year-old sets on the shelf. But you go to Canada and the States, you look at Walmart, and it's very scarce. Let's see. We've done Lego. We've done some Mega. Okay, I want to open this. This is the one that was at my door when I came home today from pulling an extra shift at work and being that good team member. I really didn't want to do it, but you know, had an opportunity to train someone that I wouldn't normally because they don't fall on my shift. But yeah, I came home and this box was sitting there, and because I do have so many imports out there that I don't get tracking for. I legitimately, I get surprised, like, oh, this has showed up, and I don't know what it is, and I shake it, and usually you'll have a note on the front that'll say bricks or something, then at least I'll know something. I don't even have that working for me on this one.
Wow. Really, shop.com is good about international shipping if you use that app on your phone or something. I use that all the time.
Yeah, shop.com.
Yes, I think it's called shop. Let's see. Yeah, just shop.com. And then some other brick outlets have stores that go through that app. So I've actually bought a couple things through there.
Okay. So you haven't been scammed or burned or nothing? Good experiences so far?
Nope. Yeah, so far. Until I start what I'm building. I bought 2 of the same kit of a Chinese knockoff Lego to make sure I had enough toned blue pieces.
Okay.
Because it's like, there's 3 different colors on the airplane. So there's like a gray, which I have, a light blue, and then like a regular blue.
So you find it cheaper or just more efficient to buy the sets and just get the handful of parts you need by buying the sets than trying to scavenge the parts loose?
No, in this case, I just tried. I hadn't done that before, so I tried this because basically, so I'm building an F-16N, which was what Top Gun used in the 1990s, which is painted to look like an Su-27 flanker. And I found a Chinese knockoff Su-27 flanker, like in their Lego or whatever they call it. So I bought 2 of those kits for $70 a piece and got all this like blue and light blue that'll go on the F-16 when I get it done.
So this set that I've set, it is a set. This is interesting. So I'm in contact with a number of manufacturers in China right now because I'm one of the few English-speaking builders with any kind of YouTube presence. Not that I'm huge or anything, but with any kind of North American presence, building and making videos with some Chinese content. And this is one of them. I really wish the representative would have told me they had sent it, because normally that conversation process is we go back and forth and I ask questions like, this is not a copy, is it? Is it a legitimate original product? It's like, I'm not even against the idea. You can send me a clone, but I won't make a video of it. I'm not going to promote your product. And even if I do build it online, guess what, man? I mean, you're really running the risk of me not liking it and shitting on your product, because you know I build this stuff live and all my reactions come out honestly. And you know, I curse, I swear, I say bad things, and so this is, let's see, from a company called Fun Hole, FUNWHOLE. The light, day and night. So it's a building kit that includes lights. And what can I do? Can I show this?
That looks interesting.
Yeah, like a ship with a sea monster kind of thing going on. Yeah. I don't think you're going to build a sea monster thing. There will definitely be a live build stream and everything for this Ocean Adventures Ship Fantasy Series. So you got like a lighthouse, a ship. Wow, 800 plus parts, ages 8 and up, and of course it does include the light kit. And warning: this package is not a toy. To avoid any danger, please keep it away from infants and children. Well, at least the English is straight. There's nothing worse than broken English or badly translated English.
Yep. And Chinese is not an easy language to translate.
Yeah, and there's not a whole lot of English there. Lots of other languages. Russian. Company name, C&E Connection, e-commerce. From what looks like Germany, actually. Interesting. So yeah, this was literally at the door, but the box is in great shape. It arrived. I'll see if I can find the salespeople who contacted me about that and let them know it did arrive, because they didn't send me any kind of tracking. So that was nice to see that show up. Let's look at something that I know is Lego. That should be Lego. So yeah, actually, I've got one more live stream I got to do for the previous Chinese set that was sent to me for review purposes. And that's the thing. So this ship here is for review purposes. And I suspect I'm going to be the first English-speaking guy in North America to build it live if I can do it soon.
I don't suppose I sent you, I can't remember where I saw it, but it was a Chinese brick, like rail mobile ICBM in brick. It was pretty sweet.
So I have, for a fact, some military sets that are supposed to be inbound.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're not on the desk, and pretty sure there's still some other stuff on the floor, but I'm honestly kind of a little overwhelmed today. That's why when I put out that notice in the group, like, so my wife and daughter are flying back from British Columbia tomorrow around dinner time, my time. And I'm gonna have the place spick and span, but you honestly couldn't enter my place between the boxes for my collection and some other boxes and stuff that I know will be for other reviews. Because it's funny, based on like a one or two reviews I had put out in January on Chinese stuff. Oh, and the Astro Boy, and which I haven't even done a proper review. I just did the live streams. All of a sudden, all these guys are contacting me. And it's like, all right. So I give them a shipping address and stuff. Not always my place. It's really about my gut feeling sometimes. Like, oh, I don't know if I want to give my address out to this guy. So sometimes I'll give a box and let it go there. But all bricks count. We're taking it to heart this year. Clearly I'm still buying lots of Lego, but I'm either buying stuff or stuff is being sent to me for free. And of course I declare that always. Yeah, interesting times. And I'm not spending that much time on the bricks lately just because of the health and walking and riding and doing all kinds of cool stuff. Okay, so this is... Okay. You know how I game the system with Lego, like when there's some free promos, and I don't want to risk not getting the promo. So I'll order whatever set, and sometimes, on launch day, but you get screwed out of it. Well,
yeah, they send you like something to make up for it.
Well, no, like they'll put a delay, but then the gift with purchase doesn't get sent. Well, I always make sure I order something really small to guarantee the gift with purchase, even if they're going to backlog the real order for a month or two, because I don't really care as long as I get it. I'm in no terrible rush, clearly, when you see how old this stuff is behind me. And so what I usually do to game the system is I order a keychain for my daughter. So she's got fists full of keychains. And I order whatever's cheapest, $2 Canadian, $3 Canadian. There's always something discounted. So my daughter has like 50 or 100, not just Star Wars, but Lego keychains. And she hated it at first, but now she loves it. So that's a thing. So I use that on top of a large purchase. And sure enough, Lego back ordered, or not, actually, it wasn't even back ordered. It was August 1st launches. So I will get them. They're apparently confirmed. But they're not going to send them yet, but they did send the gift with purchase, which is another one of those. So I'm happy to have that. They can probably flip that one because I'm pretty sure more than a few now of the Forest Hideout. I know people aren't real impressed with the build, but
yeah,
it's another throwback kind of set, anniversary kind of deal. So I'm happy to have that added. Hey, Ty, how you doing? Ty's hanging out on Facebook. Come switch over to YouTube, buddy. But let's see.
Have you ever ordered anything from AliExpress?
Dude, I might as well have their shirt on.
Okay.
Yeah, probably 50 to 80% of the Chinese bricks.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other things that are not expensive. Like I'll order the headphones. Actually, not these ones, but Bluetooth headphones for bike riding, and a lot of the lights and stuff. A lot of the modifications on my mountain bike right now, the bar ends and the brake levers and stuff, I ordered from Ali. Mostly good experiences, but in the case of bricks, it could be real sketchy. Hey, there he is, T1000, Ty's YouTube account. Thank you for joining us tonight. So you asked if I order. Have you? Are you an Ali guy?
No, that's where I found this. I'll send you the link. But it's this missile, like a ballistic missile launched by a train.
Yeah, send it to me, and I'll let you know. Let's see how familiar it is.
Yeah, it's really cool. I've always wanted one.
The Astro Boy and actually the astronaut set. I'm 90% sure I got from Ali purchases. So, when I first discovered them years ago, it was like, oh, super sketchy. But there's a lot of protection built into their system. And if you don't need it in a timely fashion, go for it. Just don't go out of your way, or don't spend a lot of money thinking like if something is represented as being authentic Lego, like in the case of bricks, they say it's Lego or they say it's Mega Construx, suspect it. If they say it's a compatible toy, then hopefully it's of a high quality level, and some stuff is. But I know some people who buy some bike parts, and they're batting about, probably 75% in success, getting really good bike parts at a quarter of the cost. Because if you want a cassette for your bike and you go to a bike store, I mean, depending on what you're looking for, you can spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and you can save a lot with Alley. I know one guy who bought a carbon frame, which that would scare the hell out of me. Buying a bicycle carbon frame is scary if you buy like a Trek or a Scott or a Cannondale from the real companies, because it's plastic, carbon, the plastic frame. And if you're not careful, I mean, it's real super sketchy. But the idea of buying an off-brand, a copycat, a clone, whatever, a no-name, because it doesn't have to be a copycat. It could just literally be an off-brand no-name. Awesome. Okay. So this is a brick set. It is not Lego size. So this probably falls into the micro. It's a slightly bit crushed. Oh, what did they throw in? Okay, that is a new tool for my collection. It is nice. Tweezers for pulling small bricks, because this is going to be small brick. Wow, that's heavy.
I tried one of those. I didn't like the micro bricks.
I'm not a fan of them, but there's definitely some builds I've seen that really tug at me. It's like, oh, this looks so cool. Even if I know the bricks are largely, my experience, crap. But you'll see why I really wanted to try this guy.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So this company, and actually on Alley, I'm pretty sure that's an Alley, they had about 8 different designs, and there was 2 I had interest in. And what you end up producing is something that looks like a Lego figure. It's just sad that you're not using a Lego compatible size brick to build them. That sucks. But he's very dense, very solid, and 2,400 plus pieces to build him. Box set, presumably with a manual, which is good because manual included. Because this has been sitting here for 2 or 3 weeks. I probably missed it on my last stream. Just tripped over and forgot about it. And there is no digital online manual for this. And it's like, great, I can't even contact the company. So this is definitely one of those cases of maybe a fly by night, or just these guys just come and go or change their names. But usually I can go back and click and give someone a link to something I've purchased. And it's like, nope, these guys are gone.
Wow.
The guys who sold me this. But Shang-Chi, Belodi is the brick company. They say it's a 4 out of 5 difficulty. Small particle building blocks. And of course, they don't dare call him Iron Man. And apparently,
I'm surprised I know what that is. I haven't seen any of those movies. So
really,
yeah.
Hey, come on, Downey Jr. It's really, literally the birth of the modern Marvel universe in movies. You want to watch some fun garbage. Watch anything before the first Iron Man movie.
Yeah.
Watch the 2 TV Incredible Hulk movies with Lou Ferrigno and I can't remember the original actor who played Dr. Banner. He was trying to revive the TV series in a movie fashion, but for TV. He even did a Thor. He did a Daredevil character in his 2 movies. There's at least 1 or 2 Captain America movies that were out there before. Just a lot. There's a Doctor Strange movie from the late 70s or something. So there's a lot of interesting old trash if you like to punish yourself, if you're a comic book fan.
Yeah, sorry, Ty. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen Iron Man. I haven't seen any of the Marvel or DC movies because that's just not my thing.
That's tough.
It's okay. I checked out modern pop culture a long time ago, so I've seen Top Gun 2 twice. If that makes any kind of if that makes up for it.
Here's one for you: Iron Eagles.
Oh yeah, I've seen all three of them. There's three of them.
Okay, I didn't even know there was more than one.
Yeah, there are three. The second one is horrible
because the first one had Luke Gossett Jr.
Yeah,
I love Chappie.
Yeah, the third one does, and it's like the third one is like. Well, I don't know if I should throw spoilers out there, but so for the second one, it's F4 Phantoms as MiG-29s, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And then, Doug Masters gets like shot down in the first scene, and then he's supposedly dead, but he comes back in the third one and like mentors these like inner city youths, and they all fly T6s. It's pretty crazy.
Hey Ryan, how you doing? When are you going to come back on my stream, you prick?
Is that question for me? What Lego theme do I collect? I don't really collect a Lego theme per se. I do a lot of military and mostly naval aviation. So
yeah, we're trying to get Jason to actually publish and print and Instagram more of what he does.
Yeah.
Now, I did see one or two of your posts from that show you went to.
Oh, for Brick World Chicago?
Yeah. So yeah. That was your collection or your
That was part of it. So that was all last minute because I had some personal issues and I missed the deadline to display at Brick World. So I talked to if you guys know Nick Kramer over at NK Custom Bricks. He does really good work. I have a lot of his kits, but he said to email them and see if they'll get you a table, and I did. And they asked me what I sent. I sent him this article where I was profiled for the Lego collection. And now I'm up to like 45, I think, different aircraft from naval aviation, all from, let's see, pre-war now, because I got a couple pre-war kits, pre-World War II, because I just finished 2, actually. I might show you later. And then all the way up to modern carriers, so like the F-35C, F-18 Super Hornet, and all that stuff. Anyway, I posted that, I was packing everything for Brick World in these plastic crates and trying to get everything squared away and trying to stay calm if it broke in the, rapid, uncommanded disassembly, as it were, if it did that. And then I got everything over there, had some stuff break, had a couple issues with some F4 Phantoms, and the F4 Phantom that I had. I got 18 airplanes in total. So that covered my naval aviation collection from 1950 to about 1990.
Have you traveled much with your stuff?
No, that was the first time.
So this is a new experience for you and figuring out. So you've learned some stuff, and if you do it again.
So I got in there and they were like, do you want to do like display cards? I didn't have anything for that. I'm like, no, I'll just do it. Like, don't you want to get judged for them? Like, I don't really care.
Yeah. It is fun if you can get a little placard at the end or whatever saying, hey, you won best new this or.
Well, I got one of those. I don't know what you call that award. I'll have to go get it. But I won this like little award thing that Drex. Well, I'll just get it because I'll get it later. It's hard to explain. But yeah, I was there Friday to Sunday. I didn't bring the Tomcat, which was unfortunate because I ended up playing Top Gun on my laptop behind the display, and everybody's kind of stopping by and saying hi, which is pretty cool. I got to meet Nick Kramer in person for the first time. I got to hang out with the Brick Mania crew at Brick World a little bit and talk to them. They had a special event at their Schaumburg store that I went to and hung out with them. I met a lot of the Lego Instagram people, like Shy. I met. Because he's big into the military stuff. So,
I don't know if you remember, but you and him were on my stream last year.
Yeah.
Before Independence Day, if I recall now, because I remember I wanted to get you guys together for probably Independence Day or somewhere around there.
Yeah, he let me sign one of his bricks. It was kind of crazy.
Really? Oh, that's so cool. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, he is.
We're definitely still going to figure that out because to get you two on the same stream together, like I can just shut up and just sit there with a lollipop and some water and just enjoy the conversation about the aircraft. And So much
It
of it's
was
literally
it
going to
was
go over my
fun.
head, and then the bits
Yeah.
and pieces I'm going to enjoy that I do.
So one of the
understand.
aircraft I have is a EA-6B Prowler. It's like a 4-seat electronic warfare aircraft. And one of the guys walking by is kind of looking at it. And it turns out he flew the Prowler, and I kind of took part of it apart for him to show him the back canopy where they operate all the electronic warfare gear, which is kind of cool. So he really liked that, and it was kind of fun to talk to him about the tactics and what he did in that airplane during the Bosnian War. He was in that one. So
Ty was saying, "Too bad you're not a locomotive guy." I just clicked on your alley link. The first picture I see is a train.
Yeah, it's a train. It's a rail mobile missile that's called the RT-23 Modelettes. It's like a Soviet ICBM, rail mobile ICBM. I don't understand Soviet rail. It's a very different gauge, I think, than the U.S. stuff. But
okay. Now I'm looking at it again. I see. Yeah,
it looks just like the real one. So there's some Soviet train museum you can go into, and they have one of the few preserved rail mobile ICBMs there that looks just like that. So
I don't have a good way of showing that right now, but yeah, that's kind of wicked looking.
I can share my screen, I think, right?
I think it'd be easier for you than for me because I'm having a couple of glitchy issues I'm seeing right now.
All right, I'll do that.
Staying up. Yeah, it's easier for me to link whatever you send. Ooh.
So
I was so happy to get this. I want to get this as a poster. Okay, so
that's the train.
To stream. Let's see how well this works. Why? There we go. Nice.
So hopefully you can see that. And then this, so it looks just like the real one here, the RT-23 SS-24 Scalpel. So yeah.
Wow, that is just crazy. I mean, literally, they can move anywhere around the country. They got rail.
Yeah. But it looks just like it, like the train cars, and even like the corrugation or whatever that is on the side of the car looks pretty sharp.
Here's a question for you. You probably don't have Apple TV, do you?
I do.
Oh,
are you going to ask me about For All Mankind?
Yes. I'm probably an episode or two behind.
Oh, are you?
I'm definitely deep into the third season. Like,
okay.
I don't want to spoil it too much for people, but definitely I got to the point where the two remaining craft got to the planet. The one was approaching, but he pulled away, and I'll leave it at that. That's about as far as I am.
Where's that?
So I'm probably an episode or two. Helios was supposed to land first, and
okay, yeah, and they didn't, and they don't. Didn't. Yeah, I'm caught up with that.
Yeah,
the T-38 episodes, like when they're out flying for fun on the T-38, those make me cringe. Because if you look at it, they're flying a single seat T-38, and there is no such thing, right? They don't. The canopy, like when they're they got to use whatever for the props. The second canopy's like solid. So the T-38Cs, I think that NASA flies, they're all T is for trainers. So you can't have one seat in the T-38.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that bother me about that show. I barely hang on as an audience member because it gets cringy as moments. Yeah, like when they're trying to land on the moon and he's like, "Oh, we'll just improvise. We'll just improvise and go here instead." I'm like, "No, you don't know. They're really highly scripted. If you've read any of the history, if you understand how flight test works, it's not like the right stuff. It's like everything's scripted. It's not like you're just going to improvise some shit.
So many checks and balances, and
not
much in a way of independent thought. You're literally following the rules and what you've been taught and trained over and over and over and over.
It's very highly scripted on cards that they carry on the kneeboard. So step one is to do this and that, and you don't suddenly throw your cards out the window and say, "I'm going to land at the southern pole of the moon."
Yeah.
No. Because let's set aside the orbital mechanics of the whole thing, because you're going to burn fuel trying to change the orbit that you were on versus, it's just, come on, people.
Yeah.
But
for what little fuel you would actually have on that lander too, it's like
it's an interesting show. It's an interesting premise. So I just tried to look at it. It's like watching.
That's why I could separate. Like I can absolutely enjoy. I can enjoy garbage if I
Yeah.
separate reality and stuff.
It's like watching Top Gun. I have to like separate how I know it works versus what you see in the movie.
Well, you mentioned in that second or third Iron Eagles movie, the wrong planes were being used. Well, that's what they
Yeah,
did
I
in
mean,
Top
it's
Gun,
kind of
right?
like you have to. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I have quite a few books on because the Israelis helped film the second one, the Israeli Air Force, and it's pretty obvious in the second one when he's walking around, it's looks like an Israeli Air Force base because there's revetments and mean looking aircraft hangars, like not like here in the United States. Oh yeah, it is different in every continent. I used to like when I lived in an apartment by a railroad. I bought an identification guide, so I got to know trains really well. But that was a long time ago. I don't remember all that stuff anymore.
Brickstar. Do you watch Brickstar's content at all? Loves
No,
trains.
I've watched
Oh.
some of it because it's interesting. Because at Brick World, the Northern Illinois train people had their huge display out there, and it was pretty cool to see.
So Lego put this on. It's funny, you know, two things and there's no bricks in it.
A puzzle.
Yeah, I know. As if I don't punch. And now I've technically got a backlog of puzzles because I didn't do the last one that had the classic space astronauts. But like, I just love that picture. I want that as a frameable poster or something. This one I might keep, glue it, and do something because I just love that as a picture. And then they had this on the website, and it was cheap enough.
Oh, nice.
The LegoCon logo, and it's, you know, if I'm, you know, I got enough gimmick shirts. It's like, and I only wear the gimmick. Literally, this doesn't get worn out. I wear this stuff only on the live streams, and it's like, cool, you know.
Yeah, I don't have a large car, so it's hard to carry a lot of stuff. I ended up renting like a CRV or something to carry all that stuff. But if I buy a bigger car, which I'm in the market for, I'll probably start going to more regional shows. Like I know Detroit's coming up in St. Louis. I was talking to a museum about putting some of those in a showcase for their next summer for their season.
So I'm still not too thrilled to travel outside this country, which is unfortunate right now. And actually, 2 days ago, Canada just turned up the anxiety levels for us for traveling because now they're going to be testing us again at our 4 major international airports up here.
That's crazy.
Yeah, actually, it's going to be. I hope they're not doing it tomorrow because I'm going to feel bad for my wife and daughter coming back.
Yeah.
But actually, I don't know what you hear in the news, if anything, about Canadian travel and airports, but
no, not really.
Oh, it's been miserable up here. Between the workers dragging their ass and some other issues. There's something like 12,000 pieces of luggage sitting on the floor where they're basically telling everyone, good luck, go find your own shit.
Oh, that was in Heathrow?
That happened there too?
That. Yeah.
Well, for us here in Toronto, Pearson, you know. But other than that, it seems like we're almost at pre-pandemic flight levels coming out.
Wait, is that the closest airport to you guys? Is Pearson?
Pearson is my international airport. It's 9 kilometers away from where I am right now.
Have you been there lately? I heard there's like a Russian airplane stranded there. Like the world.
I did watch the news today. I should have turned on the news. I didn't watch.
Yeah, there's like this. So when the war with Ukraine started, I guess I don't know if it was ICAO or Canada themselves.
Is it a plane or is it the one that's got the props for the machines?
No, it's an Antonov AN-124, which is like a 4-engine. It's like the world's second largest airplane that's stranded at that airport. So it's just sitting on the ramp at Pearson. Yeah, I mean it's a huge airplane, and it's sitting at the ramp at Pearson, just like collecting like landing fees, transient fees.
We're kind of funny up here. You know, we're willing to send a little bit of money and some mothballed military equipment.
A lot of money, actually. I mean, we're sending.
I'm actually we're. Our prime minister's getting a lot of crap for sending. Like, we want to support, but at the same time, like, we're getting screwed on so many levels locally and other stuff. Like,
yeah, we're not spending on like how are we going to replenish all that? I mean, it's a zero sum. It's zero sum with all that stuff, right? You send a tow missile to Ukraine. Well, okay, you got a replacement for me?
Yeah, it's just fortunate that as long as Trump is not hanging out in control down on your side of the border, we don't really have any concerns because we get along great when we don't have him around. But so we don't really need a strong military presence up here on my side of the border. But actually, it's funny, 5 or 10 years ago, we were real concerned about the Russians because they were trying to plant flags up in the water all around the North Pole up there. And it's like they wanted to stake some claims up there. And I mean, it didn't go that far, too far, I should say. But it's like we really didn't like that real predatory feel coming out of them. It's like, come on,
Well,
guys.
and now they'll buy F-35s too, hopefully. You kind of need it. The Hornets are very, very old airplanes.
Yeah. I actually feel bad for all levels of our services here.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember back in the Gulf War, and we volunteered 2 ships or 4 ships, and we had to spend 3 or 4 weeks just to like tune one up, just to get it chugging out from Halifax out there.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, guys, I get it that we don't need the same military presence as certain other countries, but it's like, it'd still be nice to have something. Yeah. That when you turn a switch, it will start. You know?
No, I remember during the Cold War, there was a pretty substantial Canadian Air Force contingent in Germany.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And that was there for years and years and years and years. I'm going to grab that other Lego thing that I
Yeah. Go for it. And I'm going to open up some Amazon Prime stuff. This is not everything I've ordered through Prime Days, but I did spend a stupid amount of money because anything I saw that was 30, 40, 50%, I pretty much indiscriminately spent money on it. So I figure if I'm going to buy actual Lego, then I got to make sure I save money because, well, it's not getting any cheaper. So do you want a full screen there, or are you still pulling stuff? You're still pulling
I got stuff. Okay. So I was going to show you this. This is the award that I got. That where you.
I'm going to make that full screen so I can.
It projects the image to. There's like I didn't know they make Lego that shoots like a laser light through the
light.
brick.
Well, the light, is it actual laser or is it just the LED?
Or it's like an LED, I guess.
Yeah, the LED light brick. You know, as long as you remember, so it's the 2x3. As long as you remember to pull the there's 1 to 3 batteries in it. As long as you remember to take the screw, pull the battery out when you store it, because in 3 to 7 years, that's going to leak. Oh yeah, those batteries are horrible.
So yeah, I thought that I didn't know what it was when I got it, and I thought that it was like one of those, participation trophy things, but only certain people got one, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Hey, it's unique. Just, I mean, that's the kind of thing I love the unique, weird stuff that you'll pick up at the show.
I didn't buy anything. I wish I would have spent some more time going around the stuff, but I had all these ideas bouncing around in my head about what I wanted to do. And I just pretty much sat at my table talking about airplanes and naval aviation people.
Well, I mean, you found enough people who would listen, so that's always awesome, right?
Yeah, it was fun. I had a great time. And then while I was away from home, this thing finally came in the mail.
Oh, it's so big.
Yeah, this is Brickmania's TBD Devastator dive bomber, which is like an interwar carrier-borne dive bomber. So This is obsolete just as World War II started. It was first monoplane on a carrier, first one with retractable gear. Pretty revolutionary airplane for the time. Got replaced by the Avenger. But yeah, the wings fold up and everything. So this is Brickmania. One, not the latest from Brickmania, but like most pretty recent within the past couple months. Nice. And it's got this really cool multicolored bricks for the pre-war naval aviation painting and stuff like that. So.
And those are all prints, or are they?
Yeah, these are all kind of fun fact about that. One of my friends actually sells the UV printers on the bricks to Brickmania, which I thought was kind of interesting. But yeah.
Oh wow.
So yeah, this everything's printed except for the bottom where there's like these old style insignias. Like that's a sticker. But on the upper surface of the wing, like the same thing. Like these are separate printed tiles. So it looks like there's a 2x2 tile, a 2x3, and a 2x4, a couple 2x4s, and then another. Yeah. So
it looks like the prints just came together perfectly.
Oh yeah, and then you even see like the squadron printing on there, the V for VT8, which lost like VT6. It lost like a lot of these at Midway. So it's a beautiful kit. I had fun putting this thing together. So. That was pretty. I wanted one for a long time because that kind of rounds.
Really got to start a proper channel and start live streaming or at least reviewing the stuff afterwards if you don't want to be on for 2 or 3 hours straight.
Yeah, I
I know a
probably
lot of
should.
people can't because you have enough unique content. I think you'd catch on.
Yeah. The other one I did was this. It's called a F2A3 or 4 Brewster Buffalo, which was a Navy fighter pre-war. The Navy flew these and the F4F Wildcat before World War II. This one was kind of a piece of junk fighter. This is from NK Custom Bricks. The blue is beautiful, which I love. And there's retractable landing gear, a slightly angry pilot because it's a Brewster Buffalo, and if you had to fly this thing in war because it was so bad, you'd be angry too. And then it was a really crappy airplane. I hate to say that, but I mean that's just how it
like
was
unreliable and crappy, or you just mean just not fun to fly, or
not fun to fly, not fast, not really maneuverable compared to like the other fighters at the time. Like the big Nemesis would have been the Zero.
Oh, okay. So if you're going up, you're actually fearing for your life. Like
yeah. And I like the little the cylinders you can kind of see in the engine a little bit. I don't know if you can actually. There's like it's a six not cylinders but pistons that you can kind of see here. So this was an old kit from NK Custom Bricks, and I purchased the plans for it and bought the BrickLink pieces. So I liked how that turned out with the blue.
Yeah, no, that's nice. Was it hard getting all the parts in the blue that you needed?
No.
I'm surprised.
I was not short of parts. I used like maybe 2 or 3 bricks from one of the flanker kits that had come in. So like one of them's kind of like off color on the stab that you can see right there. But
you know what though? It doesn't actually work against you when you're building those kinds of sets usually.
No.
Because metal on planes and paint jobs and parts get replaced. I mean,
they get
really
worn
add
out.
to an authentic. Yeah, it can add to a real good authentic look.
So that covers.
That's why I never got rid of beat up parts, because there's always times when the beat up parts look good in some of my mock builds. So
yeah, it adds character, I think, to the builds if it looks like it's been rode hard and put away wet.
And I can't bring myself to actually throw away bricks.
Oh yeah, I can never do that. I can't do that either.
I can give it away, find a home for it, find a use for it. I mean, and like when I mean find a use, I've used tiles that were discolored or whatever, or chewed on. I've used them as spacers in weird places, like for shells. I have uneven floors in a spot, like just whatever, whenever. Reduce, reuse, recycle, and since this plastic isn't going away, I'm struggling to figure out how I'm going to do the last 2 boxes because they're just horrifically big.
Well, if you want to see it, I'll show you the other thing that I'm working on. I don't have it built yet, but just kind of hey, that's what this is.
Sure. Yeah. If you can show us a picture or whatever.
Yeah, I'll share my screen. So everybody and their mom has an Lego F-16 because they have it. But so this is the variant of the F-16 that I'm going to build. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. Yep. Hopefully you can.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty. So
the F-16 is like a standard Air Force single-seat fighter. Everybody knows it, sees it, but none of them that you see look like this. So it was built. The Navy version was light and had a more powerful engine, so it was probably the highest performing version of the F-16.
Tell me something about the paint job, though.
So the paint job is built to simulate an Su-27 flanker, which is the kind of for that era. When this is at Top Gun in like the mid to late 90s. So the Su-27 was kind of coming online and becoming more numerous in Russian Soviet forces at the time. So Top Gun's job is to replicate the threat. And we obviously can't buy Su-20. Well, you can technically now, but at the time you couldn't exactly buy, an Su-27, but even though the Air Force has them, but let's set that aside. So the next best thing was to simulate the threat with an aircraft close in performance to the Su-27. Not close in size. I mean, the F-16 is a small airplane, single engine. It's more relative size to like the F-15, but Anyway, that's what this is the F-16N. And I didn't want to spend a ton of money on the two-tone blue Lego, so I went and bought 2 of these.
Oh, okay. That which I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of got some of the slopes and things that I know I'm going to use, and the tone of the blues are correct, even though there's 3 tones there, but it's close enough to how I want it to look.
So you're going to build? You're going to build that first, and then break it down and cannibalize it for?
No, I'm going to build the F-16 first, and
okay.
If you see on the real aircraft, like none of the bottom of the aircraft is blue. It's all just like that plain gray. Like, what is it?
Well, that was kind of the question I was thinking of asking you. Is like, why would you paint the aircraft that way? Where with that gray on the bottom, I mean, is this blue supposed to be like water camo for?
Yeah, I would
sea launch use. I mean,
see if I can find an Su-27.
I don't know if I understand the logic behind that particular paint job.
So the bottom of the Su-27 is just like a single tone blue, so it's kind of close, right? It's one shade of blue at the bottom or one color, but at the upper surface of the aircraft, it's multicolored blue. So I'm thinking that's kind of like the logic. Like same thing for the radome is white, so the radome on the Su-27 is also white. Okay. So they try to match the aircraft a little bit. So
seems funny to have that big white spot on the nose, though.
Yeah,
it seems counterintuitive to whatever you're trying to accomplish with the rest of the paint job.
I would like to talk to a Russian Air Force pilot and see what their logic was about why do they paint their radomes white, or why are the radomes white? Because I don't think they paint them, but they just are. I'm not really sure how they do whatever they do. I don't think anybody is.
Oh, like maybe it's a special compound that can only be in that color for whatever reason.
Because their radar
for conductivity or absorption or reflectivity for waves or something. Yeah.
I mean, their radars at that time were like way different than what we used. So they used it. I won't get too much into the radar because nobody cares, but they used a different type of radar dish than what we did at the time.
Yeah. Sorry, OBR. Ryan was a hit and run tonight. Oh, yeah, okay, we'll take that off because then it's Inception.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I think I've got half of my prime orders. I gotta tell you, I work for the big W up here, and we do. We've done okay too because we had some deals that kind of replicate some of the Amazon Prime deals. Because we know a lot of people that go to Amazon, they make their orders, and some of them are disappointed because they miss out or whatever. And we see the mentality because we see the uptick in our sales on the 2 days of Amazon Prime. We see how, and I'm sure the other big guys in the business, they see an uptick in the business too. We just see, when Amazon Prime hits for a couple days in Canada and States, well, our numbers go up too. So we did a pretty good job this year of pumping out some stuff and be ready for Amazon Prime ourselves. And so I ordered a fair bit. This maybe half of my Prime stuff.
While you're doing that, I'm going to figure this out. The wings are supposed to fold, and it's beyond me.
Why? Because it's not a typical hinge, or just...
I tried it before when I first got it, and I just couldn't get it to work, so I figured I'll step away because here's the Corsair that I have.
God, that's so nice.
Yeah, it's the Brickmania one from like years ago. I think it's an F4U-5.
So, am I thinking that would be like? Do you remember the TV show Black Sheep?
Yeah, same airplane.
Same plane, right? Okay.
Yeah. No need to go into like really super technical detail about subvariants, but yeah, same airplane.
Yeah. All right. So, the discounts on this stuff, especially Monkey Kid, let's see, was pretty decent. Probably tell. This is probably one of the smaller ones I'd ordered. Oh, hey, you guys are going to see some of the drugs I've been buying. Okay. CLA, anyone?
What's all that? Just for
the weight loss and stuff. It's just one of those things. I don't 100% understand the science behind it. just think of it as a tool to help loosen your body's grip on the fat in your system, so that
Well,
your
home
body can more easily metabolize it and break it down when things like autophagy and like I intermittent fast, which is I'm eating the 2 meals a day. Still plus 2,000 calories. I'm still above.
Yeah.
And I'm not bike riding much. I substituted back into walking because it's walking is more in line with my fat loss goals right now, because I want to get as much of the fat off my body first.
Yeah.
And then rebuild. And of course, it's kind of counterintuitive because I'm also trying to maintain a certain amount of muscle mass, and so my intake of protein is ridiculous right now. I pay the price.
I lost like 100 a couple years ago, 100 pounds.
So what was your method?
I ran a lot and I ate a little. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's the science, right? Burn more than you take in. And I like eating, and I haven't necessarily been eating smarter, but I definitely found that when I turned up the protein in a big way, I'm not keto and I'm not carnivore, or crazy Liver King kind of diet thing, but I'm definitely eating more meat than most people.
Yeah.
And I pay the price about 3 times a week whenever, I go to the can. It's like, oh my God, I got to get more fiber. I keep saying that I got to eat more fiber because it's just, it's getting me to a goal point. And the fact that I crashed through that ceiling of 200, which, when 8-9 years ago, first time I got back down to 200, and I thought that was amazing. And it's like, and then of course, almost immediately, I started going back up because that was at the end of the season, not, a third of the way through the season. And at the end of the season, then you stop exercising, you go through the winter, and then you put on half the weight you lost. But yeah, so far what I'm doing is relatively easy. Seems to be easy to keep going. Motivation is not too hard. My mom fed me ice cream and rhubarb pie, and I don't even like rhubarb pie, but it's like, she goes, "Oh, can you eat that?" I go, "I can eat anything." There's no restriction of what I'm doing, but yeah, CLA 1,250 milligrams. Again, I don't understand all the science, but I can speak from experience. Every time this is the second bottle since I've started this again, and definitely a weapon in my arsenal. Very effective.
Not quite as folded as I wanted it, but that's kind of close. I don't really want to spend the time reassembling this thing.
Well, why? Why is that not an accurate angle for the fold? Like they should be
it's
closer
supposed to
together?
go all the way up to the tips are supposed to touch.
Really, that much?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the diagram isn't very good about showing me how to. Yeah. I think I'm missing something. I don't want to have to rebuild it, but I might have to. That's the advantage about doing all these carrier airplanes is I save a lot of space in Lego.
Well, how do you figure? What do you mean?
Oh, because I fold them up when I put them
on
the shelf.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
The wings fold
and once you build it and display it and you fold them up. And, yeah. Well, see, I get one of these days I'm going to take from my display cabinets, I'll run the camera around, and it's really bad because I build it, and when I first set up the cabinet, it's like, oh, space them out and make it museum quality and all this, and then I don't like to take them apart, so you keep cramming them in. You get more creative on, well, I can stack this, and I have these little riser shelves, and I do this and that, and small stuff in the front, big stuff in the back, and in the end, it's just like, I could see me maybe in August having to take a couple of weeks and starting to do another breakdown session where I just spend 10 or 20 live streams talking with people as I break down these sets, just so I'm not bored. I did that like 2 years ago. And actually, it was kind of fun. But yeah,
that's what I did when I moved. Yeah, I did the same thing.
Okay. I got to move these to the floor to open up the last box because there's no other way I can do this. Let's see. No one needs to see these pills.
Disconnect. Yeah, I don't understand this.
Yeah, I take a 1 caffeine pill a day, which is equivalent to a cup of coffee, Just because I don't always. I mean, I can drink black coffee. I do drink black coffee a lot, but I haven't lately.
Yeah.
And so here's the funny thing. Not that I was getting the shakes, but I definitely feel the effects of taking black coffee. So I switched to the caffeine pill, and I'm feeling a little less jittery. Which really, I don't know what the science behind that is, because it's supposed to be the same amount of caffeine in one pill as what I was consuming with one black coffee. Because I don't want, I take the black coffee so I don't break the fast, because black coffee won't break the fast. And so I get up at 4:30, I'm at work at 6, and then I eat at 10, and that's my first meal.
Nice.
When I get up, though, water, lemon juice, apple cider vinegar. And I've been doing that without fail since January 1st.
Yeah, I know for me, when I was going through that, I had a slim fast for lunch. And then I was going, this was before I was flying professionally. I was working for an investment firm that had a gym in like the basement. So I go to the gym twice a day for lunch and then have a slim fast for lunch. And then come home and have like a semi-normal dinner.
Yeah. Well, and that's a nice thing about this intermittent fasting thing. The way I set it up, I mean, the first meal of the day that I'm having, I'm usually not around my family anyway, because 4 days a week I work. And then the other 3 days, we never seem to be around together at that time of the day anyway.
Yeah.
But dinner is consistent, and I eat what anyone else eats. And I think that's what's helping too, is that, you know, if I want to go to sushi and pig out, all you can eat buffet for dinner with my buddy, I can do that. Now, do I necessarily want to? Because well, in the sense, like, great, so I'm going to eat between 2,000 and 6,000 calories in rice. But actually, the last time we went, he goes, "You're really serious?" Because I basically avoided like 90% of the sushi, and I ate sashimi. Like I just kept saying, "Give me salmon and white tuna and whatever," and I just avoided most of the rice. And I love the rice, but it's like, I want the protein, so give me the meat. Give me the meat.
If Brickmania happens to see that, that's about as close as I have the proper fold. I can't get it to fold without breaking it, and I don't know if I need to. Yeah, I can't tell these instructions just aren't clear about how to get that to work.
I'd love this, you know, maybe send me a copy of 2 or 3 of those pages. Maybe just a second set of eyes to look at them.
Yeah, I don't have a scanner, but I can do.
Just snap the pictures, because it's not like I'm going to rip off their design. All right, so I got 3 sets in here. Oh boy.
I'll send them to you on Facebook.
Oh, these are going on.
See, it just doesn't make sense.
Duel on Mandalore Ahsoka, so everyone who likes Ahsoka.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But yeah, these are definitely going to get on the floor for now. And what's sad is I'm still taking pictures of crap from the last 2 live streams. It's just, yeah, I mean, I say I'm a collector and a builder, but it's hard when I'm hardly building. I've been getting that kind of feedback, like, when was the last time you finished the build? Shut up. And I get that from my wife, too. It's like, you're going to build today? It's like, no, I'm not motivated to build. You keep buying. I go, yeah, I'm also a collector.
Okay. I'll send you these in kind of an order. So it's page 17, 18, 19.
Awesome. Really liking that set, though. The puzzle.
I think the page numbers are on there. Yeah.
Oh, come on. I'm literally going to have to take myself out.
So you know there's a new movie coming out with naval aviation in it, right?
Nope.
So it's called Devotion, and it's about the first black naval aviator, Jesse Brown.
Okay.
He was shot down in Korea and kind of like stuck in his airplane, and his friend tried to save him. But anyway, that's what he flew, was a Corsair. So they busted out like real Corsairs to do the filming for this movie. It's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, so they tried to be accurate.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they do the story justice and don't butcher the story too much.
Yeah, I think some dude wrote a book on it, so I think they'll stay faithful to the story. Plus, it's Glenn Powell's in it, who is also in Top Gun, which is kind of funny.
Box is not perfect. It's a little bit.
Oh yeah, I've seen that kid around.
Yeah. It's funny. I wasn't too thrilled with it originally. I found it too boxy, but it really shows nicely at certain angles. And when I was at Brad's sale, he had it and someone else had it, and not that it was necessarily a great price or anything, although it was still better than retail. Um, it put it back in my head like, oh, that's something I should get. Amazon Prime, I can't remember what the actual discount was, but it was, in that 25 to 48% range, because everything I bought was in that range. So while I wasn't originally eyeing it, I've had enough reminders that it was cool, and I figured, hey, I can't turn that down. This is something, though, that I've looked at a number of times.
Oh, wow.
Gigantic, ridiculous-looking spider.
That's what the hell it is. I was trying to figure out what the hell is that.
Yeah, I mean, the Monkey Kid stuff's wild. It's definitely on that Ninjago realm kind of thing. And, but I've seen this spider on and off for, I guess, a year now. And, of course, this thing was heavily discounted. So it's like, all right, we're picking that up.
I did want to ask you, do you ever buy
30%? 30%.
Do you ever buy custom minifigs?
I have. In the last year, not so much.
Yeah.
But minifigs for you, which I'm pretty sure is David Hall's store from Solid Brick Studios. I've actually spent a fair bit. His original Star Wars Bad Batch figures, which he had 5 years or whatever before Bad Batch came back. So he had really nice figs. I think those were like $20 or $30 American each for 4. Wow. Yeah, it was pricey. Oh, it was pricey. But his stuff was like, I think it was UV printed, like really nicely done. And some custom parts were there too. But yeah,
I got
a fair bit of unique stuff over the years. I got
this little guy from, I can't remember who. My point was I wanted to do a Blue Angels minifig.
Sure.
So if you've ever seen their uniforms, they have like a pair of vertical stripes that go down on the left side.
Okay.
And I was trying to figure out how do you do that on a minifig.
So left to right, how many stripes would you need to have it look kind of okay at that scale?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I could do with one and it would look, it doesn't have to quite be like, what would the term be? Like looking at it in terms of resolution, it could be 1, but I'd prefer it to be 2. But it has to be really, really small.
Because if you just want a really, really thin line or a couple of thin lines, that's not hard to do with painter's tape really close together.
Yeah.
And then I would recommend an airbrush just so you don't have thick layers of paint. Because with anything other than an airbrush, it's going to go on so thick, and then that line's going to have an unintentional depth.
Yeah, I think I got it from one of the British minifig people.
Okay. Well, you were the guy who was telling me. I think you use a lot of the Star Wars X-wing pilots, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I've got 10 or 12 of those guys.
And you use them because a lot of their uniforms are actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last of this big stuff, Monkey Kid something. Well, we're going to open it since I don't know what that is. And then I can get rid of this monstrosity of a box. Man, I'm going to spend all day taking out garbage before my family returns. I mean, it's all on me. I've lived kind of like a hobo for 10 days. Well, one of the things was, like I said, I've been eating a lot of meat. And one of the reasons I've been doing that is literally cleaning out the fridge and cleaning out the freezer, because we weren't smart enough to reduce our shopping before they were going to leave for 10 days. And since it's not like I'm starving or anything, but it's like I don't necessarily eat a lot. I never ate a lot before.
Yeah.
Eating was never my big problem. It was a lack of exercise and movement, and I'm very sedentary. And this hobby does not help, right?
No, it doesn't.
I try to get that point across to some of my friends who are kind of struggling too. It's like I love the hobby, but it's kind of killing us, guys.
Yeah, you got to make room. You got to make
We got to
time.
find some balance.
Yeah,
You know,
that's why I run.
okay. Not that I want that to be an excuse. I mean, for me, the choice is if I want something more intense than walking, it'll be bike every time because
Yeah.
my joints won't take even a light jog.
I should do that, but I swim in addition to the running too. So
I don't enjoy swimming. If I did, that would be awesome because we got like a Columbus Center near me, like 2 blocks, 3 blocks away. It'd be nothing. Like I could go there right now and enjoy a nice quiet day. Awesome. Okay, I don't need this silly box. So that's not terribly helpful. Because that will be a builder. I'm not worried about preserving.
that's pretty odd looking.
It is. And it was another one that was significantly discounted. It's funny, without trying, I now have like 5 or 6 fairly sized Monkey Kids sets that I've bought all on discount over the last year. Let's see. Do I have a price point on that one? 48% off.
Wow.
Yeah.
I should run to my local Target and clear them out just for extra parts.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of stickers though. Yeah. Yeah, boy, that's a lot of stickers. And I'm not necessarily thrilled with the color scheme, but yeah, if you're in need, like in this case with red and yellows and some really unique shapes, like that's some interesting parts there for sure. Let's see. What can I do here? I do this. I'm trying to think of what would be better. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to get everything in frame.
That truck's bigger than minifig scale too, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's probably measurements on the back.
Could put a 50 cal in the back.
Yeah. You might be able to put now.
It can be a technical.
So the truck, when built, is 13 inches long.
Oh wow.
5.5 high. Might be able to put a 4-inch GI Joe in there and not have it look ridiculous. Which could be cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat looking truck.
I mean, if I can put a DC Superheroes Batman in the Batwing, I guess you could put a GI Joe in that truck.
It reminds me of Ty's truck in Heartland.
Oh, yeah. 40. Okay. I feel like I'm missing one of these. Oh yeah, this weird Dragon set, Monkey Kids Lion Guardian. Yeah, 46% off.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's like I'm always looking for an excuse because let's say I do get to a point I decide some of these I won't build. Well, hey, flipping them won't be too hard. And
yeah, really.
Given what I paid, I'm still coming out ahead. So
there's a guy that paid me a substantial amount of money to build him 2 Lego airplanes. So
yeah, I've built for a neighbor. He actually passed last year, but in years past, I almost felt like he was doing it for me. I don't know, but he would pay me, and eventually I said, "You don't have to pay me. I enjoyed building them." And he would, "Hey, can you build this?" And his excuse was, he said his hands got to a point he was too arthritic.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I was, if I was a little kid and he was pulling that stunt, okay, I get it. But it's like, I'm a grown ass guy with a fair size collection. 900 built and 300-400 behind me, clearly not stopping anytime soon. And I don't know. Maybe it was the social aspect. He just like, the excuse for us to have that contact. I don't know.
Yeah. One of my friends, he's my age. He had a stroke and he, like I said, he was my age. But I'm going to buy him a Lego. I'm trying to figure out who I want to buy the A10 from because he really likes the A10. So I'm going to buy one
It is one of my favorite aircraft, which is why I've built it like 3 different times. One Jing Bao set, which is probably my favorite anyway. And I think I got a Mega set, and then I got another one from some other Chinese company. But,
I might buy in the Kobe one. I don't know.
I should buy the Kobe one. Actually, I almost pulled the trigger on Amazon. They weren't Amazon Prime deals. They were only like 5% off or 7% off. And while it's still good because Amazon will at least ship it to where I want to, we have Play Value Toys in Ottawa, not too far. I don't know, 4 hours drive, 5 hours drive from me. And they have the Kobe sets. They got the entire
nice
catalog. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But the ship it is not cheap. And I only get out there maybe once a year, maybe.
Yeah, the Brickmania store here started selling Kobe too, which is very odd.
Really?
But I don't like their aircraft. I have one Kobe helicopter. I used to have the Russian World War II stuff. I got rid of it. I don't like it. So
I know the minifigures for some of the Kobe stuff throws people off.
Oh, that's
because
and the parts are just no fun. Like they're just not enough. Like it's hard to explain. It's like a wingtip is a whole part that just defeats the whole purpose.
Yeah, I get that. Like I've seen there's a car like the Maserati build, and when you look at it, you almost can't tell it's a brick built set because so many specialized parts go into it. You honestly don't feel like you're building a brick set. If you're lucky, you might feel like you're building a model. I don't know.
They're doing some interesting. Well, for me, they're doing some really interesting aircraft, but it's just the wrong scale. They're too small.
Yeah. I think that's just their way of keeping those costs down because if they go bigger than those, like for me, it's like $70-$80 Canadian for a lot of their smaller sets, and it's like that very quickly becomes $200 Canadian. And right now, that's just horrible.
Yeah, I know about that. I'm hitting BrickLink tomorrow for like 3 airplanes that I'm going to build.
Oh boy. Well, you know the deal. Try and get it from as few sellers as possible. And and invest that time because I used to spend so much time and it paid off eventually where, I'd look at this seller, and say, okay, I'm not going to get the cheapest price part because a lot of the time that didn't always work in my favor. If I would just spend a little bit more per piece and I could get more parts from one seller, I'd come out ahead because less shipping. But it's time consuming. But I would spreadsheet all this out and come up with this formula. I mean, you can use their super buy function and it'll figure it out for you.
But I do that.
It's not as good as you doing the work. You will come up with better deals, but you have to put in a lot of time.
I have like 50 different airplanes in my wanted list right now on BrickLink.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I can't tell you what I still have in my BrickLink list, but I know I have like 5 separate lists for important stuff and then other stuff I would just like to have. And occasionally I check it and I run it and then I see how many stores would it take to complete it. And one of the lists is to fix my daughter's Friends and Elves sets. I'm looking at, there's a file box. Now, of course, all this stuff, like she's got all the waves for whatever the first 3 or 4 waves of this stuff. But at some point, whether it was from shuffling it around the room or whatever, a piece here, a piece there, cat does something. And like half her sets are missing 2 pieces.
Yeah.
And it's not common stuff because I've gone through my bulk and I clearly don't have it. Especially in the color schemes that her crap is in. It's like, and it's just horrible because it costs me 3 times the ship as it would for the parts at its best. And sooner or later, I'm just going to have to say, screw it and do it. I know even like I had put Brad on the job for 1 or 2 of the parts, and that was over a year ago, just because getting the certain parts for her her girly sets and the color schemes for her sets. Because, most of my bulk is gray, blue, black.
Same here.
White. And I don't have it in the gaudy, girly stuff. I know it sounds sexist, but
that's okay.
I'm a dinosaur.
Friend sets, and they're just, when I moved, I kind of just put it in a bin altogether, and I haven't put it together yet. So, I'll get around to it one of these days because I like to recreate some of the scenes in Lego. So
I'm absolutely good at. Well, I'm gonna rebuild all of her sets because for me, a set is a set. I don't care if it's elves or friends or something else. In fact,
yeah.
there's a space shuttle set in the Friends this year. I'm gonna pick it up. It's going to be the first Friends set I buy intentionally for me.
What
I
is
bought
it?
a Friends, and it's like some sort of space shuttle. And it looks,
Oh, you mean like
yeah,
the Lego Friends? Oh,
Lego
okay.
Friends.
I thought you
Sorry,
were
yeah,
talking
not the
about the
TV show
TV show.
Friends.
I was
Yeah,
talking
sorry.
about the TV show.
Oh, wouldn't that be? Yeah, Friends reunion. They go to space or something. Oh my
Yeah, I
god, I can
know.
imagine that.
I mean, there is a space shuttle in it, but it's like sitting on a display on the table in Chandler's apartment.
Oh,
That's a random piece of trivia.
I don't know if I've ever looked that close. I mean, I enjoyed that show. If it's on, I can absolutely sit through the reruns, no problem.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
That's not punishment at all. Like MASH, if that's on, I can watch.
Yep.
Friends, I can watch. There's definitely a few others. Like if it's on, I can just stop whatever I'm doing and
I have usually a
guilt-free
Partland
watch it.
playing in the background, but it's on mute or something like that. So my mom really liked it, and after she had her stroke, before she did, she was on because that new season just came out here in the U.S. a couple months ago, and I found a way to get it for free, and she was so stoked that she could get caught up on the newest season. So,
oh wow,
she really loves that show. Is that 3-in-1 supposed to be a car and an Angry Bird or something?
Okay, where am I looking at the 3-in-1?
The box next to the Star Wars at the bottom row. No, on the front of the camera, like the one.
Oh, in front of the camera, it's on the desk. Oh, this thing.
Yeah, what is that?
So the gift with purchase is some sort of stupid flying car.
It looks like
which is why I never bothered to try and acquire it as a gift with purchase. But it's like, you know what? Thank God, because I think I only paid $15 through Brad. And
I mean, it's
I didn't
interesting.
have to buy a big set to get it.
Yeah.
And I think this was, $150 buy-in Canadian or $200 buy-in Canadian to get this, maybe. And it's like, I'm glad I didn't do that. Not that I would have bought a set I didn't want, but I feel better doing this sometimes.
It seriously looks like an Angry Bird.
It does now that you definitely make me. That it's funny that the guy who created the original game deleted it and feels bad for creating it. It's like, dude, you made a game that made $1 million a day. You don't feel bad about that.
No.
That's genius. Simple game with simple reward system. What was that one with the fruit and you slice it with the ninja swords or whatever? Samurai swords?
I have no
Fruit
idea.
Ninja.
Okay.
Very simple mobile games. Mad money these guys make, but nobody made like that Angry Birds guy. That was just ridiculous. I remember my first smartwatch. The Pebble, because a Kickstarter version of my Pebble smartwatch. And I think the first game I put on it was an Angry Birds kind of clone.
Huh.
And it was just like, this is so cool with an EX screen, because guess what? It worked perfectly fine for Angry Birds. Flap, flap, flap. I was like, yeah, it got me through a lot of bullshit meetings at work. I was sitting there with my smartwatch, put it on mute, and I'm playing Angry Birds on a 1-inch screen. But yeah, I saw a documentary on that guy, and it's like, actually, I don't even know if he's still alive. He really took it to heart just how he affected people.
I did find parts for the first airplane I built was that Lego Creator Set 31039. And I bought, I'm going to change some colors around, but I'm missing some parts on. I'm going to rebuild it, I think.
Do you have the Sopwith
Camel?
Camel.
No, and I was debating on it because it didn't fly from an aircraft carrier. It might have in the Royal Navy. I have to double check my sources or research. I don't think it ever did.
So is that a line you draw that it
yeah.
Really, okay.
So it didn't fly. I'm still trying to figure out if the U.S. Navy flew the Sopwith Camel. I don't think they did. Although Google says that maybe, but okay, so maybe. I don't really know. It could be that They just, yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that later. But yeah, that's the bottom line. It's a U.S. Navy carrier-borne airplane. There's a lot of interesting British stuff that I thought about getting into, but the anal retentive person in me says, then if you buy one British naval aircraft in Lego, you got to buy them all.
Yeah,
and there are a lot of really ugly ones.
For me, that's a line. Monkey Kid is probably coming close to me violating that line, because I'm not going to ever suggest that these are pretty sets to look at or easy to look at, but they are so crazy and unique looking. There's nothing boring about them.
Yeah.
The first one that triggered me a year ago was this gigantic mech that they have, because I do love mechs. And this thing, when it's built, and it'll probably be the first one I build when I do get around to them, is I think it's about 20 inches tall. So it'll go nicely with other mechs I've built. And then I've just found these excuses to buy more of these Monkey Kid sets. All discounted, though. I've been very fortunate.
Yeah. I got to start getting better about that, because there's some... I still don't know the trend about parts that I use more than others. And the only thing I really know is I use a lot of blue. So maybe I should start buying Lego kits that have blue, like walking through Target and, oh yeah, I get that one.
Yeah. Go through BrickLink, take a look at your parts and your color schemes that are hot for you, and then just
all the light gray stuff and all the blue.
Again, a time-consuming process, but it's like, and then take a look at currently available stuff.
Yeah.
There are definitely going to be opportunities to buy some sets. You're going to end up with a lot of stuff you don't need, but you'll definitely still end up with a bunch of stuff that's probably still going to be cheaper than you BrickLinking it.
Yeah.
And you're going to fall into the exact same hole that the BrickLink stores do. Guys who buy these sets to part them down, if they take these this Monkey Kid set, like the gold stuff is probably on the more rare side for these colored parts. There's not a lot of gold Lego out there. Well, that might be a good, easy sell, but the rest of it's just run-of-the-mill red and run-of-the-mill blue. And it's going to sit in your inventory forever. And that's...
Have you seen that? Where is that? I don't know why it made me think about that. There's a guy who builds... He's a Canadian, but he builds the Canadian military aircraft in Lego.
Been a long time, Crayon Land. Good to see you.
I'll send you the link for it. He's building some really beautiful Canadian aircraft. And I didn't know, it made me realize there's silver Lego. I'm like, seriously? I didn't know there was silver Lego.
Yeah. And there's gold, and I think there is some okay. And then there's also a lot of third-party electroplated stuff.
Yeah.
Some of it done really well. Some of it's unusable, because if you try and put two pieces together, they'll never go together. I love these aircraft. Oh, that CN train.
He's got a train too?
Yeah. Halfway down the screen, a beautiful CN tractor train.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that
is beautiful.
I like that F-104, though, and that F-18. But, yeah, he builds good kits.
So I have... Let me see. Share... Can I share that one? It's always such a pain. Share screen... Oh my god, see, it's going to lock us up for sure.
I could try it. Were you trying to share the loco, the train? Yeah, it locked up.
It's funny.
You're coming in and out. There we go. Maybe. So Ty, if you're still on, I'll show you the screen for this locomotive I think he was trying to share. Let's see if I can go back and do that. Yeah. So that's the locomotive, if you guys can see it. Brickaviator.com is the guy's website, but that's a beautiful locomotive and other airplanes. Hopefully you can hear that. All right, there we go.
Sam?
I can hear you now a little bit.
Okay, so now I can't hear you.
It's kind of choppy.
See if I can fix that. Shazam? Okay, I can hear you again. You can hear me?
Yeah, a little bit. It's kind of choppy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, right now I'm hearing us both as robots.
Okay, there we go. That's better.
That's a bad idea. Me trying to run a fourth one. It's like, oh, and I knew I was pushing it, which is why it was easier for me to import from you than for me to run a local.
Yeah.
Running all this on a single laptop is brutal, and I use a second screen too. And let's see.
One of these days I'll get around to it. I still need to buy like a table in my kitchen because I don't have one yet. So
Audio. If I can put this on the boom mic, put this on the speakers. Hopefully this won't echo. Let's see.
There we go.
See if this echoes.
Nope.
Yeah, right now the audio is coming out horrible for me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can still hear you, so it's fine.
Thank you, StreamYards.
Okay, so the Navy flew Sopwith Camels experimentally from Guantanamo Bay, operating planes using wooden platforms on the forward turrets. Okay, so you could make the argument that I need to get the Sopwith Camel.
Now you've talked yourself into it.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Let me see if it's the right scale and everything. It doesn't. It looks larger than mini 3, scale.
5.
1026. $400. Wait, why am I complaining? I spend more than that on Lego all the time. I'm too lazy to do the scale conversion. I don't like how it looks anyway. Maybe I can find one unrebrickable or just build one myself.
Let's see.
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can't.
But I'm getting a weird echo feedback.
Oh, like a reverb kind of thing. Yeah.
Yep. Let's make it. I got 2 more things I can try. One, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That sounds good.
My experience in the headphones is what's killing me.
Yeah.
I think we're going to wrap it up anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say. I was actually going to suggest that because I got to get ready for work tomorrow. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'd like to thank Jason. for hanging with me for so long and
Sure.
spend some time with me, catching up.
Yeah, we got to get shy on this sometime.
We'll do it again, just not so long.
Yeah.
And I won't screw it up and shit the bed by screwing around with what I know works and doesn't work.
All right.
I know better.
See
All
you
right,
later.
everyone. Have a good night. Peace.
Bye, everybody.